Two families on the same street. Same builder, same floor plan, same kind of nice, ordinary life. Then a fire starts in one kitchen and spreads to the other house through the shared fence line, and by morning, both homes are gutted down to the studs. Same loss, almost to the dollar. But 6 months later, one family is back in a rebuilt home with new furniture, and the other family is still fighting, still short tens of thousands of dollars, still getting letters that start with the words we are unable to verify. The disaster treated them exactly the same. The claim did not. And the only difference between them was a $30 folder one of them made on a quiet Sunday afternoon, years before the fire, when nothing was wrong at all. I want to tell you about that folder today because it is the single cheapest thing you will ever do that protects the most money, and almost nobody does it until it is too late. My name is Hank Mercer. For close to 30 years, I worked as a property claims adjuster. Storm country mostly. The Midwest, the Gulf, the Plains, wherever the weather makes a habit of taking the roof off of people's lives. I sat at the desk and I signed off on what got paid and what got refused. I approved claims and I denied claims, thousands of them, and I want to be honest with you about something. The thing that decided which pile your claim landed in was almost never how bad your damage was. It was what you could prove. I am retired now, I have no company to protect anymore, and no boss telling me what I can and cannot say. So I'm going to tell you the things the desk never would. Here is the part most people get wrong, and I need you to really sit with it. The moment your house is damaged, a clock starts. Not a clock on the repair, a clock on your proof. From the second that fire is out or that storm passes, the burden is on you to show what you owned, what it was worth, and that it existed before the loss. The insurer does not have to prove you did not own it. You have to prove you did. And every day that passes, your memory of your own home gets a little blurrier, the receipts fade, the boxes go to the landfill, and the proof you needed quietly disappears. People think the disaster is the emergency. The disaster is just the starting gun. The real emergency is proof, and it is running out from the first minute. Now let me take you behind the desk for a few minutes, because once you understand how a claim is actually handled, this whole thing will make sense in a way it never did before. When your claim lands on a desk like the one I sat at, it does not get read like a story. It gets sorted. The adjuster is building two lists. On one side, everything you are claiming you lost. On the other side, the proof attached to each item. And here is the cold part. Any item on the first list that does not have something on the second list backing it up is not a maybe, it is a zero, or close to it. We did not pay for what you remembered. We paid for what you could document. A homeowner would tell me, through tears sometimes, that they had a leather sectional, a good one, paid almost $4,000 for it. And I believed them. I genuinely did. But belief is not the standard. Without a photo, without a receipt, without a credit card statement, that $4,000 sofa came onto the claim as a generic couch at whatever the lowest reasonable figure was, and the family ate the difference. Multiply that across an entire house. The television nobody photographed. The tools in the garage nobody listed. The jewelry, the appliances, the furniture, the clothes. A family will lose tens of thousands of dollars in a fully covered claim, not because the coverage was not there, but because they could not prove what was inside the walls. The policy did its job. The proof did not exist. Quick thing before I show you what to actually do. If you own a home, this is the stuff I wish somebody had handed me 30 years ago instead of letting me find out the hard way at the worst possible moment in people's lives. Hit subscribe, and I will walk you through one of these every week. The mistakes I watched cost people the most money. Alright, here is the fix. The fix is a folder. That is the whole thing. A home inventory folder made before anything goes wrong that proves what you own. And I'm going to show you exactly how to build one, the way an adjuster would actually want to see it, because there is a right way and a useless way, and most of the home inventory advice floating around out there is the useless way. Start with the walkthrough, because it is free and it is the most powerful piece. Take your phone, open the video camera, and walk through every single room of your house slowly, narrating as you go. Open the closets, open the cabinets, open the drawers, pull the good dishes out. Say what things are and where you got them as you film. In the kitchen, say, this is the refrigerator, it is a Samsung, We bought it in the spring. Open the garage and pan across the tools. Go through the whole house this way, and do not forget the boring rooms, because the boring rooms are full of money you have stopped noticing. When you are done, you will have 10 or 15 minutes of video that shows the contents of your entire home, in your own voice, with your own narration. From the desk, that video is gold. It is dated by your phone, it is comprehensive, and it is almost impossible to argue with. Then layer in the photos and the paper. For the big ticket items, the things worth more than a few $100s, take a clear photo that includes the model number and the serial number where you can find them. Then go hunting for receipts. I know, nobody keeps receipts, but you do not need the paper anymore. Pull up your email and search for order confirmations. Pull up your credit card statements and your bank records. Every one of those is proof of purchase. Screenshot them. The big appliances, the electronics, the furniture, the jewelry, the lawn equipment, anything that would hurt to replace, get a dollar trail behind it. Now here is the part that separates a folder that works from a folder that fails, and almost everyone gets this wrong. Where you keep it. A home inventory folder that lives in a drawer in the house burns in the same fire as the house. A folder on your hard drive dies with the computer. You need this in at least 2 places, and at least one of them has to be off the property. Put it in the cloud, an email to yourself, a free storage account, anything that lives on a server somewhere else. Then tell one family member it exists and how to get to it. I cannot tell you how many people had a perfect record sitting on a laptop that melted in the same fire as everything else. The proof has to survive the disaster. If it does not survive, it never existed. Let me tell you about one homeowner. I will call him Dale, and the details are blended together from more than one claim, so nobody is identifiable. But this happened more times than I can count. Dale had a kitchen fire. Bad one, but contained and fully covered. When I asked him for his proof of contents, he did something I almost never saw. He emailed me a link to a video he had made 2 years earlier, the same slow walkthrough I just described, plus a folder of receipts he had screenshotted from his email. I want you to understand what that did on my end. It took his claim out of the fight pile and put it in the easy pile. There was nothing to argue about. I could see the appliances, hear him say what they were, match them to the receipts. Dale got paid quickly, and he got paid fully, because he had done 30 minutes of work on a Sunday 2 years before he ever needed it. The family across town with the identical loss and no folder spent 6 months fighting for a fraction of it. Same fire, different folder. I promised you I would be honest about the villain here, and the honest version is not a conspiracy. Nobody at your insurance company buried this. It is printed right there in your own policy, in the part almost nobody reads. There is a section about your duties after a loss, and one of those duties is to provide what is usually called a proof of loss, an inventory of damaged and destroyed property with the quantities, the descriptions, and the amounts. You agreed to that when you signed. It is your job in writing to be able to produce this list. The insurer is not hiding the requirement. They are simply counting on the fact that you will not read it and you will not prepare for it, because almost nobody does, and that is the gap the whole thing rides on. The folder is just you doing in advance the one job your policy already says is yours. So let me tell you what is really at stake, because it is bigger than the money, even though the money is real. Yes, this protects you from losing tens of thousands of dollars in a covered claim, but under that, it protects the home you actually cannot rebuild. The replaceable stuff is replaceable, the sofa, the television, the appliances. But a good inventory forces you to slow down and account for the things that are not, the records, the irreplaceable items, the proof of a life that was built inside those walls. And at the very bottom of it, this is about not being at the mercy of the worst day of your life. It is about being the family that gets made whole instead of the family that gets ground down at the exact moment you have the least strength to fight. So, here is your checklist. Pause the video and screenshot this if you need to. 1. Film a slow, narrated walkthrough video of every room, opening every closet, cabinet, and drawer. 2. Take clear photos of the model and serial numbers on every big item. 3. Gather your proof of purchase from email confirmations, credit card statements, and bank records. 4. Store the whole thing in at least 2 places, with at least one of them off the property and in the cloud. 5. Tell one trusted family member it exists and how to find it. That is the entire folder. 30 minutes, almost no money, and it sits there quietly, being worth tens of thousands of dollars the day you finally need it. I have watched the difference this one folder makes from the only seat that really shows you, the seat where the checks get signed. Be the family with the folder. The homeowners who refuse to be caught off guard are the ones who walk back into a rebuilt home instead of a fight. And next time, I am going to show you the one photo I looked for on every single storm claim that crossed my desk, the shot most homeowners never think to take until the adjuster is already standing in the driveway, and by then, it is too late. Take it before they arrive. I will see you then.